Okay. In proper alley fashion, I started doing this, didn't like it, and so now I'm restarting. The thing is, it is completely dark outside. It is like 6:45 or something. It's already pretty dark, right? 6:45. Doesn't matter. The sun has set. And now I'm utilizing the floodlights on the soccer field here at this park to illuminate my face so it doesn't look completely scary, even though it totally does. But I could just be like, no, you should wait until daylight, or you should do this elsewhere. But no, I'm gonna do this now because I know myself. I will just keep coming up with reasons and excuses as to why I'm not doing it yet, and we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna go. We're gonna do it. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how to do this, and of course I didn't plan it out very well. That's okay. It's a starting point, and we will learn from there. The lesson today would be to plan things out a little bit more. To be honest, I wanted to do this, like, I thought about doing this, like, sitting down here in my car, talking to myself. Thought about doing this, like, recording this a few days ago, and then since then have completely forgotten, and then realized today that it was the 10th, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta do it. So here I am. So here we go. What am I doing? What is all of this about? Okay, so I'm turning 30 in a month. I have a month until I am turning the big 3-0, okay? And for me, it's been since turning 29, honestly, because, you know, it's like the last year of being in your 20s. Since turning 29, I've actually had this kind of like really, I've been very anxious. I've had a bit of anxiety, a little bit of uneasiness, slight depression in certain ways about coming into my 30s, being where I am in my life. And I want to first say, well, I kind of already said a few things already, but before I really get into the meat and potatoes, I kind of want to just throw it out there that I'm mostly doing this for myself, but I'm really grateful for where I am in my life. While there are things I want to improve, as it will be evident by doing all this stuff that I'm going to talk about later on, I'm grateful for where I am, and I'm grateful to be relatively healthy, or at least enough to be like alive and relatively able to function on a day-to-day basis. I'm grateful for my family and the people that I've had in my life for the past however many, you know, forever really, and people that have been around more recently and everything. So, you know, a lot to be grateful for, which I'll touch on again at some point, but I just want to throw that out there before I really get into it. So, gratitude there. But so I've been very anxious about turning 30 because I did not think I would be here. Like, not here, like in this car at this party, like talking to myself like this, but I guess it's sort of, I just didn't think I'd be here. I thought I'd be in a different place in my life by now. You know, I assumed maybe that I'd be married, or that I'd have kids, or I'd have this great job, which I'm completely sounding like some sitcom-y, like 30 or late 20-year-old, whatever. Oh, I thought my life would be like this, but then it totally wasn't, you know, kind of thing. And I'm sitting here, and that's completely what I'm doing. And so I just, you know, there's a lot that's going on there's a lot that brought me to where I am right now, and we're gonna basically explore that. I'm gonna, I don't know, work through all that stuff, and the way I'm going to do that is by sharing it with others, like this. The idea would be that I would post something up pretty regularly, mainly like kind of like focusing in on the 10th of every month. As soon as I turn 30, I'm gonna, technically this is like episode 0, kind of, because it's a month before my birthday, but going forward, on the 10th of every month, I'll have something up. Just kind of, I'm not quite sure yet what that will look like. I have time to kind of figure that out. You know, initially I was kind of frustrated with myself, thinking like, oh my gosh, you didn't plan out this like video here right now. I had time to do that, and now I just sound like somebody's flying a kite. That's cute. Okay. Now I just sound like I'm just like rambling forever and ever. Maybe I should sit up close a little bit better so then you can see me not be in the shadows. But yeah, the fact that it's gonna be so dark, I hope it's not like totally a turn off, but it probably will be. Oh well, that's okay. We're just gonna make do. Here we go. What was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought. That's about right. But I was frustrated with myself, but then I realized, you know, it's okay. Like, this is my own thing. It's not an assignment in life. It's not an assignment from school. I am not beholden to anybody except for myself. And for now, while maybe there are things that I want to do better next time, this is where I'm going to start. I just need to start. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's been an issue for me in a very long time, is that I have just such a hard time starting things or doing things, because I think I have to be knowledgeable or an expert or whatever to be ready and do something, when I'm trying to learn that sometimes you don't need to be exactly in this particular place in time for you to do anything. You just got to start doing it. And not only that, so that's a big thing for me, but another thing is that I've just kind of been on autopilot and just kind of going through the motions and just kind of going along with things for like basically the past 10 years, basically since the end of high school, which is going to be a whole thing. Again, I'm kind of just rambling. I just want to kind of touch on briefly everything, so then, you know, just to kind of culminate it here at the beginning. And it's okay that I'm not, you know, it's not perfect, but yeah, since the end of high school, I basically just coasted. I have a really good life. I'm very blessed to have the life that I do. I don't know if coasting is the best word, but maybe some might think that I've basically coasted in life. I've basically just gone through the motions and just skated in life. I don't know. I've not played an active role in my own life, and that's been really hard. And, you know, I've gone through emotions of incredible, like deep regret and like shame for not having done more at this point in my life. Can't remember if I already said this in this attempt, this video attempt, this clip attempt, but I thought I would be in a completely different place in my life at this point. I just assumed that I would be married, or that I assumed that I would have had a good job, or an interesting job, or a cool job, or something like that, or that I would have had kids by now, or I'll have done all these really awesome, incredible things. And, you know, a lot of days I sit there and think, gosh, I didn't do any of those things. I'm just ghosting through life. I don't even know what that means. I'm present, but I'm not really living my life. I don't feel like I've got a hold on what I do, and I feel like it's time to change that. And you know what, too, I keep thinking to myself, oh, that's not me, or like there's things that I like want in my mind, but I don't admit it. Like, it's like deep here in my mind, right? And then I don't really admit it, like up front. Like I don't want to. I secretly want certain things. Like, say, for example, maybe it's like, oh, I'd love to, I don't know if mountain climb, but I don't admit it to myself. It's like this weird dichotomy in my head. Anyway, and I realize I keep talking to myself like, oh, Allie, you're not that person. That's not you. You don't do that. Or, oh, I look at other people and think, oh, wow, I wish I were them, that they're doing that thing. And I realize that literally a huge part as to why they're doing what they're doing and you're not is because they believe that they could. A good chunk of it. Maybe not everything in life, but a good chunk of things. Like a good set of stuff where I thought, oh, I can't do that for whatever the reason is. And again, that's another thing I'm going to touch on at some point. But I'm just done thinking that. I don't want to think that anymore, because where has it gotten me? It's led me here. And again, I'm grateful for things. It's like, it's an interesting thing to explore. And the reason why I'm doing this is why I want to post up about this stuff. Why can't I just journal about it? Because, honestly, doing stuff like this, recording stuff and like putting it up on my YouTube page, like that's been something that I've wanted to do for the longest time. I think my first one was like back in like 2010 or something. And, clearly there's like other things on there since then, but I've always wanted to regularly do something, and I don't know how long this will be, but I figure why I should just do it already. And I also think too that I'm not gonna let it deter me, but I ran out of storage space, so I had to clear it up a little bit, and so now I'm back. Normally I would be like, oh well, not meant to be, just leave it alone. No, I won't do it. No, we're still gonna do it. I know it's getting dark, but a big reason why I'm also doing this is for myself, mostly, because it'll be kind of therapeutic. Is it cathartic for me, to do this, and it's just something I've always been wanting to do. That hasn't really changed since 10 years ago, right? So it's not just for myself, but also because I realized, I don't think I'm the only one that feels this way. And I mean, it very well could be, but I'm not so special in life or so alone in life to think that this could only happen to me. And so that's also another interesting aspect that, again, I could totally be thinking this like anecdotally, but I think this is kind of like a common theme, maybe with people around my age, in this like cohort of people in life. So, I want to share this in case it can speak to anybody, in case anything that I have to say or share what I'm going through can help somebody, like if it's something that someone needs to hear, you know what I mean, that, I'm totally struggling, like let's just be real about it. For the longest time I've been struggling. Some days it feels like I can feel like within myself that I'm struggling, like that's just struggling, fighting within yourself, not tumultuous, but like turmoil, that inner turmoil. That's how I feel some days, a good chunk of days. But then, a lot of the time too, I kind of just numb it out and just don't even think about it, distract myself with a variety of things that don't help me, but I do them anyway, so it's kind of like a boat. It's like this or this for a lot of my days, rather than actually just trying to navigate myself through all of that and thinking about it, but then getting myself through it. Does that make sense? So I kind of hope that this would help anybody, in addition to myself, because God knows I need help. And I think it just helps to know that, it just helps to hear that you're not the only one going through this. So, it's for whoever needs it, too, not just myself. So that's that. So yeah, to wrap it up, I'm turning 30 in, I was about to say a year, I'm turning 30 in a month, and my plan is to share that, share this like transformative, this purposeful transformation that I want to go through, and that I think I have been going through, but I just want to like document it, I guess, for myself and for others. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So, and yeah. Hopefully I touched on most things that I wanted to. I might have forgotten a few things, and that's okay. Again, this is kind of like episode 0, before, you know, my birthday. And I'll actually be on a trip during my birthday, with my parents and one of my sisters. So I'll figure out how I'm gonna do that, but yeah. So turning 30, and we're just gonna document that process and what that looks like. So excuse me, and just kind of getting myself to a different place in my life. And you know, I don't think that necessarily means that, I mean, it will mean that I'm doing things differently, but it's mostly just a different mindset, and then the results of that different mindset will come. Does that make sense? Probably not. But I'll talk about it at some point, because there's a lot of influencing factors that have brought me to where I am right now. And I want to kind of just touch on those, like why I got to this place in the first place. So another time though. So we'll see. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to upload this pretty much when I get home, which is nuts. But yeah, despite the fact that this is not, that's okay. It's okay that this is not perfect. I just need to start somewhere, and it's okay that I'm starting here. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Until next time. Yeah. Until next time. Bye-bye. Bye.